Imagine a world where the crown jewels, the very symbols of a nation's power and prestige, are housed in an impregnable fortress, a place so secure that even the boldest of thieves wouldn't dare dream of breaching its defenses. Now picture a man, defiant, cunning, and unyielding, who not only dreams of such a heist, but sets it in motion. This is the tale of Thomas Blood, a name forever etched in history for one of the most daring and audacious thefts of all time, the attempted robbery of the crown jewels in 1671. Welcome to our channel, where we delve into the depths of history's most infamous crimes, unraveling the stories of those who dared to defy the odds. Today, we're exploring the life of Thomas Blood and his audacious attempt to steal the crown jewels of England, a crime so bold that it continues to fascinate us centuries later. Get ready to embark on a journey through deception, drama, and daring as we uncover the true story behind this historical heist. Thomas Blood's journey into infamy began long before the heist that would make him a legend. Born in 1618 in County Clare, Ireland, Blood grew up in a time of intense political and religious turmoil. The son of a prosperous blacksmith, he was expected to follow a path of respectability. However, the tumultuous environment of his upbringing instilled in him a rebellious spirit, one that would steer him away from conventional life and into the shadowy world of crime and conspiracy. Blood's early adulthood was marked by a series of radical shifts in allegiance and fortune. During the English Civil War, he initially supported the Royalists, fighting for King Charles I. However, as the tide turned in favor of the parliamentarians, Blood pragmatically switched sides, becoming a staunch supporter of Oliver Cromwell and the parliamentarian cause. This shift not only saved him from potential retribution, but also earned him a land grant in Ireland, securing his future, at least temporarily. Yet Blood's fortunes were as fickle as his loyalties. The restoration of the monarchy in 1660 saw King Charles II reclaim the throne, and with it, many of Cromwell's supporters found themselves on the wrong side of history. Blood, stripped of his lands and wealth, became a man with nothing left to lose, and it was in this state of desperation that his mind began to turn toward more radical and dangerous schemes. To understand the mind of Thomas Blood, one must consider the mix of ambition, resentment, and opportunism that drove him. By the time he conceived his plan to steal the crown jewels, Blood was already a notorious figure in England, known for his involvement in a series of plots against the monarchy. Among these was an attempt to seize Dublin Castle in Ireland and kidnap the Duke of Ormond, the Lord Lieutenant of Ireland. This plot, like many of Blood's endeavors, was audacious, but ultimately failed, further cementing his reputation as a man willing to take extreme risks. But what pushed Blood toward the crown jewels? It wasn't just about wealth, though the jewels were undoubtedly valuable. For Blood, this heist was a strike against the very symbols of a monarchy he had come to despise. The jewels represented everything Blood loathed: the power, privilege, and untouchable status of the aristocracy. Stealing them would be more than just a financial gain. It would be symbolic victory, a way to challenge the authority of the king himself. The Tower of London, with its imposing stone walls and centuries-old history, has always been more than just a building. It's a symbol of British authority and resilience, a fortress that has guarded monarchs, prisoners, and treasures alike. Constructed by William the Conqueror in the 11th century, the tower had been a witness to the rise and fall of kings, the execution of traitors, and the safeguarding of the nation's most precious artifacts, the crown jewels. These jewels, including the magnificent imperial state crown and the sovereign scepter, were more than just adornments. They were icons of continuity, used in coronations and state ceremonies, representing the divine right of kings and the power of the British monarchy. By the 17th century, the jewels were housed in the jewel house within the tower, place of both reverence and formidable security. It was here that Thomas Blood set his sights, planning heists that would shock the world. Thomas Blood was nothing if not resourceful. To execute his plan, he devised an elaborate ruse that combined boldness with meticulous planning. Disguised as a clergyman, Blood presented himself at the Tower of London under the guise of parson. He wasn't alone in this endeavor. Blood had a small group of trusted accomplices, each playing a critical role in the operation. To gain access to the jewel house, Blood relied on the power of charm and deception. He befriended the keeper of the jewels, Talbot Edwards, a man who had served as the custodian of the crown jewels for years. Blood visited Edwards several times, ingratiating himself with the elderly keeper by pretending to be interested in arranging marriage between his fictional nephew and Edward's daughter. This pretense allowed Blood to scout the jewel house, taking note of the layout, the security measures, and, most importantly, the location of the jewels themselves. On May 9, 1671, the plan was set into motion. Blood and his accomplices arrived at the tower under the pretense of viewing the jewels. As they were ushered into the jewel house, Blood made his move. He struck Edwards with a mallet, knocking him unconscious, and quickly set about removing the jewels from their cases. The imperial state crown was flattened to fit under a cloak. The sovereign's scepter was broken in half, and the orb was hidden away, all in a frantic bid to make a quick escape. But as with many great plans, things began to unravel. Just as Blood and his accomplices were about to make their getaway, Talbot Edwards' son unexpectedly returned home, raising the alarm. The tower guards were quickly alerted, and chaotic confrontation ensued. Blood, ever the audacious figure, fought fiercely, even as the situation spiraled out of control. In the ensuing struggle, Blood and his men were overpowered and captured. As they were dragged before King Charles II, the stage was set for a final twist in this extraordinary tale. One might expect that Thomas Blood's audacious attempt to steal the crown jewels would result in a swift and brutal punishment. After all, this was an act of treason, an attack on the very symbols of the monarchy. However, the outcome of Blood's trial was anything but ordinary. When Blood was brought before King Charles II, something remarkable happened. Rather than condemning him to death, the king was reportedly amused by Blood's audacity and boldness. The king is said to have asked Blood, "What if I should give you your life?" To which Blood replied, "I would endeavor to deserve it, sire." In a surprising turn of events, not only was Blood pardoned for his crimes, but he was also granted a piece of land in Ireland, restoring some of the wealth he had lost during the Restoration. This act of royal clemency baffled many and has been the subject of much speculation. Some historians suggest that the king admired Blood's courage, while others believe there may have been political motivations behind the pardon. The public reaction to Blood's pardon was one of astonishment and, in some quarters, outrage. How could a man who had tried to steal the crown jewels, a symbol of national pride, be set free? Yet Blood's story didn't end there. His reputation as a rogue and charlatan only grew, and he became something of folk hero, celebrated for his daring and cunning. Blood lived out his remaining years in relative obscurity, but his legacy was secured. The heist of 1671 prompted significant changes in the security of the crown jewels, with the authorities realizing that even the most impregnable fortresses could be vulnerable to audacious criminals. The jewel house was fortified, and the crown jewels were placed under even tighter security, measures that continue to this day. Thomas Blood's daring heist has left an indelible mark on British culture. Over the centuries, his story has been retold in books, plays, and films, often with a romanticized portrayal of Blood as a charming rogue. This fascination with anti-heroes, figures who defy authority and challenge the status quo, resonates deeply within popular culture. The Heist also serves as a reminder of the complex interplay between ambition and recklessness, courage and folly. Thomas Blood's story is not just about a crime. It's about the lengths to which a man will go to challenge the world around him, to carve out a legacy that defies the ordinary. The tale of Thomas Blood and his attempt to steal the crown jewels is one of history's most captivating stories of crime and audacity. It's a story that continues to intrigue and inspire, a testament to the power of boldness in the face of overwhelming odds. Blood's legacy lives on, not just in the annals of British history, but in the enduring fascination with those who dare to defy the conventions of their time. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most infamous heists, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more thrilling tales of crime, mystery, and intrigue. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on Thomas Blood. Was he a villain, a hero, or something in between? Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the fascinating stories that shape our world.